Hi, Bo. Um, yeah, I am here in the Twaman stream. Uh, I'm gonna play Uncharted 1, All Treasures, which is, I have plenty of time to explain stuff, so I'm just gonna get started. We're gonna play on easy, because treasures don't spawn on Explorer, which be our preferred difficulty, but easy is second best. So once I skip this, I'm gonna start the timer. So 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, I'm gonna put on. There we go.
How the hell they find us out here?
So chapter 1 is a bit harder than on any percent, because you actually have to aim. The game will like hardcore auto aim you to on Explorer to these guys, but already have to show more skill. Yeah, so this is basically the 100% category for this game. Anything more 100% than this is just getting into tedious territory. So yeah, we don't really go there. Basically, like anything more than this would be like platinum trophy or anything, stuff like that, which is bad. So we're just gonna get all the treasures, and that's a good mix of glitching through stuff and also just seeing more of the game, since we skip so much of it in the faster categories. Yeah, we're just gonna kill these guys as fast as we can, and then after I kill these two, I'm gonna jump on the center of the boat, and I will skip the last two. Just gonna stand over here. Yeah, Cartoon Drake is pretty swole. So as soon as the boat spawns, just gonna get in cover. So this is the true skin that should have won the GDQ incentive. Look at this boy. So that's chapter 1. And we're actually gonna see our first treasure here in a few seconds.
Oh, hold on, kid.
And you're gonna see some spicy jumping around.
Yeah, you weren't too old for that little barmaid in Lima, were you?
Because when you're out of combat, you get this like jogging animation, which is pretty slow. We can speed it up a bit by just mashing jump. You can also, when we get into combat, we get a faster speed, which you call combat speed. There's the treasure. And we'll be trying to game the game into giving us combat speed as much as we can. Normally we just go straight ahead and like push that rock down and proceed, but we have to make our way around here, get one treasure.
Nah, it's older than that. Like 2,000.
Usually when I switch categories between any percent and all treasures, I forget this one because it's yeah.
There's something funny about the ground down there.
Because the start of the run is pretty much the same until here. So if we roll into that root over there, we can get a little bit of elevation to grab a latch we're not supposed to. And we're in.
Good work, kid.
Like Flynn.
Oh, oh, oh.
And in a few seconds we're gonna start getting into the bread and butter of Uncharted 1 speedrunning, which is
That Spaniard
the
sure has a lot of crap behind.
I think it was originally called the universal wall clip because there's a different way to clip a wall.
You're not kidding.
But aim clipping is also a common name. Yeah, it's like I've played this game before or something. But so yeah, we can just like mash aim with our left side to the wall, and we pass through pretty easily. And this works on like almost every surface in the game. It's pretty neat. Vertical surface, that is. Well, it has to be somewhat vertical. So, and also works on invisible walls, so they don't have to have textures, which makes sense. And this speeds up the game dramatically. Another thing about this game, which is pretty cool for
Wait, I recognize
all
these
treasures
scenes.
routing, is that you quite often you pass through areas a second time, or like like pass right next to an area where you can clip the wall. So that's essentially the same as returning to an area. So that gives us some like non-linearity in terms of when we pick up each treasure. So the important thing is just that once I complete chapter 3, I have 8 treasures. Doesn't really matter when I pick these 8 up. Well, some of them I can pick up when like either go through, but yeah. So here's an instance where I have to not do that, where I have to clip through a wall and jump while I'm inside the wall, which there we go. Can get a little finicky, depends on how small the floor is. And those who are familiar with the regular N% run or N% nowhere walk will get to see some new stuff, because we don't go straight into the sub, because there's a couple of treasures in this area, so we have to actually do the game as intended for a while. And this is like the scariest part of the game, because the platforming is bad. This is like my least favorite platforming in the game. Oh, soup is coming. Like actually, in any percent you can actually skip the soup dialogue, but you can't do that on this, so soup skip, not doable on all treasures. So you are guaranteed to get some soup. Once I get this one and one more, it's actually on the sub. We get subs and soup. Oh, is that why he says soup? I don't know. I have no idea why. Like, that soup line makes no sense at all in no context. But yeah, the game wants you to drop like very slowly down there, but you can just like drop straight into the water from there and it's fine. There we go, number 6. And we're gonna pick up 2 on the way back.
Did you find a way in? Hey, when was your last tetanus shot?
Oh, that's funny.
So here comes soup.
Okay, I'm in.
What do you see?
Something nasty happened to these guys. There's blood everywhere. And soup.
What?
There we go. What? So the sub is the same in every category. So we're just gonna make our way through here. There's a glitch you can't get where you can jog through the sub, but I think it's only ever happened on PS3, and I only like ever heard about it for the first time like not too long ago. So we just get to bask in the glory of Donut Drake for a while. No wait, this isn't Donut Drake, Cartoon Drake. There he is. Look at that boy.
Cozy.
Okay, so now here comes the escape sequence,
That's
and
probably bad.
we're gonna pick up 2 treasures on here, which we could have picked both of them up on the way
I
up
like
here,
this
so
one better.
it's faster to do it on the way back. I like this one better. So this clip is horrible. There we go. Pick up this AK for the end of this chapter, and pick up this treasure. Ignore those guys. And normally when you come through here first time, there's you have to like go down through some water and then blow up a wall for Sully. And now here's that hole. Since we have combat speed, you can fall down here like really strangely and land in this water. And pick up this treasure number 8. And then restart checkpoint brings you up here.
Oh my god.
Pretty nice. Now I need to... So, a thing about easy is that auto-aiming and hip-firing is worse, and the guys take more punishment, so
Okay.
combat is problematic at some points. Hey French, you mean Cartoon Drake? Cartoon Drake is like the low-key best skin in the game, and I want it to be the best skin, not low-key. Okay, I'm gonna die here, but it's fine because there's a checkpoint right here. Oh, this combat RNG is pretty bad. So I'm gonna kill... leave one guy left, and we're gonna be super safe. I'm gonna leave one guy, and hopefully he doesn't punch me. There we go. And leaving one of these last set of guys is makes this thing I'm gonna do consistent. So I'm gonna kill these guys and kill this guy and shoot into the cutscene, and that'll trick the game into giving me combat speed into this chapter, which is really useful. So you can see that Nate is running like he's in combat, and that means I don't have to jump around. this chapter is just as scary in this category as it is in 90% Nowhere Walk. So hopefully we make it through all right. And I need to finish this chapter with 18 treasures, I think. I think this is the most treasure-heavy chapter. I don't know what the per capita is on it, but it's a big chapter, so it makes sense that there's a lot of treasures. Yeah, so I'm skipping a bunch of enemy triggers here, which is nice. But that also means that I'm skipping all the checkpoints, which is potentially not nice. Sometimes I pick up an AK over there for a fight in chapter 5, but it makes a fight in chapter 6 more difficult. Like this treasure, it's the hardest treasure to pick up. It makes a fight in 6 more difficult. I'm still trying to determine if it's more difficult than it's worth, but for now I'm just gonna keep the pistol. Pick up 13.
Here we go.
Coming up is like the scary part of this chapter, because the platforming in this game is borked. But hopefully I can get through there safely. Because yeah, there's some stuff that I can do. My movement here is gonna be pretty specific, just from experience of dying in every possible way. So if you touch the water down here, then you die. So this ledge, the shimmying here is weird. So you have to. I always take it really careful on there, and we're good. So here's the checkpoint. So scary part is over, but this run is pretty scary in general. So yeah. I'm gonna skip a little animation here by being super fast. I'm gonna jump on here, and of course I got the wrong angle, but that's fine. If you're super fast and you make it to the bed of the truck and off it, you can jump to a checkpoint before, so you hit the checkpoint while this, oh boy. So I hit that, I didn't hit the checkpoint, okay. This is fine.
These guys keep coming for me.
There we go. That should work. Okay. So I hit that checkpoint in that animation, so I can skip the rest of it. And then here, if I do this fast, these guys won't kill me. It's always scary, but they always like manage to get you within one shot of death. But it's fine. Coming up is barrel skip, which is pretty funny. For some reason they're super, the cover system in this game is super lenient on what it considers cover. So and the vault over cover animation is like super text priority over everything. So I'm gonna make my way to this barrel, take cover, and get blown up. That's fine. It's RNG anyway. But I find that if I don't shoot at these guys, they have a lower chance of blowing it up. So if I pass out of bounds while I'm in this vault over cover animation, then I will just pass out of bounds. So, skipping the rest of that fight also skips this upcoming fight, which is good, because that's like my least favorite fight probably in my glitchless attempts. There's 2 treasures in this area, so we are on track. I'm just passing out of bounds here to camera, so we don't have to deal with the traps over here, because the traps are annoying. That's 18. And we're gonna make our way to chapter 15. 15? I'm getting ahead of myself. Chapter 5.
You have to be kidding.
So there's a castle here, or a fortress, I swear. There it is. Oh, I could have jumped off there. So this vine is like my least favorite thing in the game, because I never get on it correctly for optimum speed, but I did it there, but I'm just so used to doing an extra lap that...
Thank you.
We're gonna pass through this wall over here, because that spawns next set of enemies, and that'll give me combat speed for one of these, this next treasure, which is, or these next 2, which is not a big deal, but preferable. Nathan, too swole for platforming. There we go, 21. And now this is the fight I would have used the AK, but there we go. So just taking care of that turret guy is what I want to do, and some of those guys at the front, especially the shotgun dude. And that brings me in here.
I see him.
That's good. And one over there. And on Explorer, we usually just like tank the damage in this fight, because they never manage to kill you. But on easy, it's not that easy, despite the name. So if I go up on that platform, that grabs a checkpoint, then I can just clip in here. Yeah, so if I don't grab that checkpoint on the ledge, then this checkpoint through here, or this trigger inside through this gate doesn't spawn. And if this trigger doesn't spawn, then the triggers on these winches don't spawn, and if they don't spawn, I can't proceed. So, oop, I'm gonna do the hardest thing in the game. That I do anyway. First try. I've been having trouble with that lately. So that skips one of the winches, and saves like a good 30-40 seconds. First try. And restart checkpoint over here. Brings me just to the top of the stairs faster. And then instead of going straight into where I would in any percent, I have to do a little detour over here. And so this chapter is pretty specific on which checkpoints you hit in order to spawn the end chapter trigger. So it's actually faster for us to just go around the area, clip the walls, get all the treasures, and then proceed, rather than tanking some damage going through the fights and stuff. Because the treasures here are in pretty like annoying spots, especially the next one that I pick up, which is like in the other end of a super big fight that you can barely get through alive if you clip out at the start. That's this one. So if this one wasn't there, maybe the route would probably be different. But yeah. I'm just gonna go back here and pick up the AK. So if you have an AK and pick up this AK, it gives you like 12 ammo or something. But if you pick up a fresh AK from there, it gives you like 29 or 30 or something. So, and we really want to utilize the ammo for this next part, because pistol just doesn't do enough crowd control. So we're just gonna run straight through these enemies. Cool. If you don't die there, then that's good. It can get hairy, but as long as you don't die, then that's pretty good. Don't forget this one. Too easy to forget. So that fight over there with the I ran through is like the game is pretty like determined that you go through that. Or else it doesn't load the end of this chapter. Okay, I like to kill at least one of these dudes. 2 is like super safe, but 1 is usually fine. I'm gonna do baby strats here, because they're like infinitely more consistent, but also infinitely easier, I find at least. And now we're pretty much done with chapter 6 and like the first section of the game. And we get a nice little auto-scroller.
This must have been Drake's. So what were you looking for, huh? Oh crap.
Unlike any percent where we play on Explorer, you actually have to shoot some enemies in this. On Explorer you can just put the controller down. But I usually use this chapter for target practice to keep myself entertained anyway, so I don't really feel a difference. This is like AMA time, I guess. I have nothing to say about this chapter. Yo, thanks for the luck, Wild. And I got chapter 5 winch clip first try, so that's one good thing. There's a ton of stuff that can go wrong in this category. Way harder than N%. At least once you start optimizing stuff. There's so much that can go wrong. You can just like lose a minute here and there. So if I checkpoint restart, as soon as the camera changes there, I can skip a little scene there. Saves like 3 seconds, I think. But worth doing. I'm gonna use this opportunity and hydrate, since I only need one hand for this part, technically. Nice. That's sweet, sweet Icelandic mountain water.
We made it!
I can't believe that worked!
So who was that guy?
Just an old business associate. Oh, look out! Oh no! Go! Oh, for God's sake!
Oh, these guys never quit.
Careful not to forget this one. 27, it's good, you're on track. I don't want to fight these guys, so I'm just gonna run past them.
I don't get it. How does a whole colony just drop out of history?
Oh. Took me a bit to figure out what you meant. But yes, we have beer baths.
Gonna have to cut that.
The jet ski is pretty much the same as any percent, but as long as you take the good route then and don't get unlucky with the barrels, then you're good. Yes, Jake, you're more Icelandic than me. That's pretty much confirmed. Because you bought Einstök from the beer store. Or, as Americans call it, Einstock. Go pick up this AK for a fight. You know what the lighthouse? Oh, you mean that Yoko Ono thing? It's not a lighthouse. It's called the Freedom Pole, I think. I did think, because it shoots light up, not around. Wow. Literally not more Icelandic than me. So yeah. This is all normal. But yeah, this part is pretty nice because you can get everything without actually having to do anything anymore stuff than any percent. Oh, I said any a lot of times there. So that's nice. Because there's a lot of fights in this section of the game. And this door is... there we go. So I'm not gonna fall here, because if I do, that'd be bad. And Outlock is like the hardest enemy in the game. Okay, so this is one of the more problematic fights in the game. And it's not a good start. Yeah. So this is like an adaptation of the strat we use in any percent. And it's pretty much like stay in cover from the turret as much as you can and pray the other guys don't hit you a lot. And yeah. Second try is not bad. It's not that inconsistent, but you definitely can't die there. And this is the hardest boss in the game, that step. I lied when I said I said something was the hardest boss in the game, but yeah, shoutouts for Rock. To Rock for that strat, because it's both beautiful on any percent, because it works every time, and on all treasures it's so much faster than what we used to do. We used to just like hide behind a crate until that third guy popped out and then kill him. But yeah. Now we just kinda run through there and pray. That one is easy to forget as well. Rude. Just pick up these guys. This guy likes to hide sometimes, but yeah, there we go. Now here's everyone's favorite chapter. Yes. Speedrunner formerly known as. So he's officially Rocky now, I guess. Oh, nice shooting, Elena. You're pretty much relying on good RNG here to not die. Most of the time it's fine. There are some spots that are more problematic than others. Namely this spot. Okay. And this one can also be okay. And like the amount of damage that the barrels actually do to you is also random. Effectively random at least. So double RNG. But we made it through fine. Now we're approaching the end of the game.
Alright,
In 90% this would be
let's head up to the
like
monastery and see what's
this is
going
my
on.
point where the end game starts. But we have to do a bit more stuff in this category. There we go. Roll on the top of these stairs because you have to slow walk up to here.
Down? One of Eddie's goons could be up ahead.
And I'm gonna go around here and pick up a pistol because it's a much better pistol and it also gives us like 60 ammo every time, I think. So that's good. Use the AK to run up these stairs. I guess I didn't explain that. If you you can shoot and cancel a bunch of animations, so like the animation for walking up and down the stairs is pretty slow, but if you shoot, then it overrides that and just uses the regular running animation. And that's a jump. Can be scary. So here in the 80%, I would
Let's just find Sullivan and get the hell out of here.
go straight into the graveyard and head to chapter 16. But we need to actually pick up treasures, so I'm gonna head up into library, I think it is. Koi, they're not in chests, but Hebo. I guess they're in the icon as a chest, so I'll let that slide. So we're gonna make our way up here, and there's a void here, but the cutscene trigger's there, so we're good. And we're gonna be careful to roll a bit to so these sniper guys don't one-shot us, because if you roll you reset their aim counter. I guess they like aim at you and then they count a bit and then they shoot you.
You know, this looks
We have
familiar.
40 treasures right now, which is optimal. Yeah, I have Nate on a strict workout program
Okay. Land of the
and
dead.
diet.
Here we go.
There's 60 treasures, says so in the... I'll pause a bit when I pick up the next one. If I'm good here, then I can... Yeah, I can jump and grab this without going around. So, you see 42 out of 60. Wow, wild with the spoilers in chat. Ruined my master plan. Yeah, that jump is like, can't be finicky, but I just like mash jump and that will like buffer its positioning a bit forward every time, and usually that works pretty well. So I don't want to fight these guys, so I'm just gonna go down here, load this area. I pop into photo mode to load back in these flames on the candles, because I use that as my setup. Then drop and pause. Yeah, I waited a bit too long. But yeah, basically that's the gist of cathedral fight skip. I think we call it church fight skip. Shoutouts to Rob for figuring out you could load this area, and then we figured out a way to drop down here. There we go. And now we're in here, and we skip the fight. And this skip is pretty neat. No, boy, sorry. We don't get to see puzzle skip. But yeah, sadly you can only do puzzle skip from chapter 13. But we have to do chapters 14 and 15. So no puzzle skip, but we get to do church fight skip. So that's good. One more over here, 46. Yeah, this one is only on all treasures. I guess if there was like a well, he doesn't really have to use his legs, right? He only needs like cardio training for his legs. You don't, yeah, so they don't need to be swole. You just need to have endurance, because that's how the human body works. Over here, I'm gonna leave one of these guys. Hopefully, they don't kill me. I want to keep combat speed through this next part. If I clip through over here and don't touch the floor down there, I'll keep combat speed, and that skips the checkpoint. Skips the end of that fight checkpoint, which doesn't load two of these guys in here, and lets me keep combat speed in the church, which is pretty nice. And it also lets me retain that checkpoint, so that when I get the other treasure in here, I can restart checkpoint to warp back there. And since I'll end this chapter with combat speed, that means I will have combat speed in the beginning of chapter 16, which speed things up a little bit. That's pretty neat little thing. So coming up is another one of these clipping and jumping inside of the wall things. So I'm gonna be careful. I'm gonna be cautious. Ooh, that was scary. That's a big key. That's the big key from Zelda, actually. So now I'm back here, and the fight is like the enemies respawn. Ooh. And now I can make my way through here. So this is like familiar for those who know the 80%. But since I'm in chapter 15, this graveyard will spawn or render regularly. So I have to do the puzzle. But that means we get to see the Kingdom Hearts cutscene, which we usually skip. So I'm gonna clip through here. Wow, Koi being a bad kid.
Wait a second. It's something to do with these symbols.
Oh, I only turned this one once. I'm supposed to turn that one twice. And Now we get to see Kingdom Hearts. Because as we know, Kingdom Hearts is light.
Well, there's no way but
And
forward.
since we
Yeah.
finished the chapter with combat speed, we have combat speed over here. But unlike
What is this?
puzzle skip, we have to
A really elaborate
slow
way to
walk
hide
here
the
for a
damn
bit.
Which
treasure.
way do we go?
He said that on the 12th of June
Wait a
2018 when he was playing Golf Story. Oop. Yeah, no worries.
This has got to be good for something.
Or was it the 6th of December? I'm confused if this is American notation or... Yeah. Wow, Americans not even using American date notation. Yeah.
Something's happening.
I can just restart checkpoint here. Like as Elena finishes her sentence, I can restart checkpoint. And these braziers are the hardest enemy in the game. So you have to really take it careful when you pass them.
Sully, you read me? Damn, nothing.
And 2 treasures we're gonna get over here, and then we're gonna skip the rest of this. So we don't have to deal with all those braziers. Which is good. Whoa, that was scary. So thankfully we only really have to pass 1 brazier. And really I'm just trying to talk about these braziers as much as I can so I can use the word brazier. Because that's one hell of a word. Basers. So coming up is a fight that's annoying on Explorer, but on Easy it can wall you pretty hard. So hopefully it goes well.
Hey, Boule! Last man alive gets the gold.
You lose.
You lose. Kill them both.
This just keeps getting better and better.
Oh boy. I'm gonna have to take this careful. I'm okay, yeah. That was inevitable. Boule is a national festival for the Adiraja family, because they are a nation. Fun fact. Huh. So as you can see, this can get pretty hairy, especially if those grenade guys decide to pop out, which there we go. And if you shoot after that fight, you can get combat speed back. And shoot at that shotgun dude over there, up the stairs, so then he doesn't follow me. And there's one more treasure over there. Just gonna climb up here. And now we can go finish chapter 16. Make our way to chapter 17, which has no treasures, only Eddie.
There's gotta be a way out of here.
I'm gonna do a cheeky little death abuse here, which works for some reason.
Heavier than you look. Can you reach it?
So if you fall in this hole at the right time, then you can just like skip the rest of this.
Looks like an old.
The game just gives
hoist or
you the
something.
cutscene.
There's a rope.
Pretty
We'll try
handy.
to lower it down to you. Oh God, Nate!
There you go.
What the hell is going on down there?
Just get that rope down here! Fast!
Okay, so this is what I like to do. I like to shoot the first dudes, pick up an AK, get on this platform, and shoot them from afar. Because usually I'll use all my pistol ammo and all my AK ammo, and I still have a shotgun over here I can pick up for the last couple of guys. And this is what I do instead of actually learning the spawn patterns, because it can get really disorientating in here. Oh, nice. So there we go. That's pretty good. Yeah, who needs memorization when you can just not do memorization? Dude, these zombies are awful on anything other than Explorer. They two-shot you on easy, and they take like so many hits.
Come on, Nate.
And it's like random, I think, based on like where you hit them and stuff, but effectively random how many hits they take, but like sometimes it's like almost endless. So that's fun. If I shoot my empty gun down this hall, I can just run super fast. And you might be familiar with, oh damn, I was 6 seconds faster than Matt. You might be familiar with this gate, because it's a bad kid. But in the end percent, I'll just jump on this ladder over here and skip straight to 20. But there's a couple of treasures in the spoopy part. So if I land on that door frame, I can reset my fall distance, so I can make it down here, and no spoops required. This would be like perfect if there was some way to have combat speed here. That'd be beautiful. Yeah, you're welcome, streamer. Because Uncharted is not a scary game. It's a game with a lot of gunmen. For some reason, there's 2 bunker doors. I don't think there's 2 of them in the cutscene, but but they're pretty annoying nonetheless. There we go. And now I just need to, oh actually there's one spoop, so heads up, there's a spoop coming up. There it was. But no more spoops. And here it is, 57, and now we can restart checkpoint. And we are back over here. And then we can just do 18 to 20 skip regularly, spoop skip. I think that worked, yeah. Now we're in 20. And then as soon as Nate starts walking, I'm gonna restart checkpoint. I just thank you. That skips slow walking and talking too slowly on the radio. So just a few treasures left here. $59. I'll pick up combat speed from these guys, so I don't need to hop anymore. Yeah, so okay, this might PP. I'm not no. No, probably won't. No, I don't think this will PP. But this is a good run. PP is like 104 something. I'll drop down here, and there's a chapter 21 trigger in there, so gonna make our way down here, get the last treasure. So that's 60 treasures.
It's cursed or something.
And then we're gonna make our way down here and pick up treasure number 61. And we got all the treasures, just need to bring this home. Shoot, please. Thank you. This might PB, but I don't have world record. World record is like 1 minute some seconds. I'm cutting it close though. I don't know. I'm not sure because I don't have my splits up. Yeah, we can just skip most of this thing. But unlike any percent, we actually have to do this last part as intended.
Oh crap, now what? I got you!
So time is after the next set of combos when I uppercut him. And time. Dang, that's a PB. Yeah. This is sub 104. Sweet. I'm gonna watch this cutscene because it's beautiful. We're gonna get all the beautiful Sully quotes, but yeah. Marathon PP, pretty good. Thank you. Thank you. We're ticking all the marathon boxes. We just need a world record. Has anyone gotten a world record? Dang.
Quite a day.
Yeah, save the world, triumph over evil. Pretty typical.
Really?
It's a shame we're leaving empty-handed, though.
I'm definitely gonna need to
I did manage to save one small thing.
oh yeah, you need to wait for Sully.
Here,
I need to import these splits. There might have been some golds in here. I don't know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You see 2 old treasures?
You
I don't
two
know.
got a funny idea of romantic.
Sully! Wow, you look like hell.
You should see the other guys. Got us a boat.
We already have a boat.
Yeah, big boat.
I like this one better. I like this one better.
Sully, you beautiful son of a bitch!
Borrowed it off a couple of pirates who were too dead to cash.
Beautiful. But yeah, this was a good run. Shoutouts to Jake for doing this marathon.
Sorry
And,
to get your story.
That's alright.
For letting a sweet little baby Icelandic boy run at his marathon.
I'm good for it.
So yeah, thank you.